Hello, welcome to another review for Halloween month 2022. Today is our finale. It's the end. It's Halloween day, right? And for the finale, I had a special review plan, and that was supposed to be a Midnight Suns review, Darkhold. But apparently, I have the first 5 issues of this series. As you can see, I thought this was a Midnight Suns comic. Apparently, this is not Midnight Suns. This is a spin-off of Midnight Suns that happened during like an event called Rise of the Midnight Suns. So I got tricked, but it was still a good read, right? And if you look closely at the art, maybe it'll seem familiar to you. Okay, this is Richard Case, who did the art for Grant Morrison's um, Doom Patrol run, and the first issue, which this came out in 1992. Look at that ad, right? This came out in 1992, and it's written by Chris Cooper, or Christian Cooper, whatever he prefers, and has art by Richard Case. Richard Case did issue 1 and 2 and half of issue 5, right? And I'll read the description. For eons, the walls between our Earth and the supernatural realms have held fast, until now. Now those walls are weakening, and Lilith, Queen of Evil, Mother of Demons, has risen from her slumber to shatter the walls and free her hellish spawn. Only the strangest of alliances can drive her back. A union of old enemies and new heroes, and a battle forever to be remembered as the Rise of the Midnight Suns. Darkhold issue 1 was part 4. They have the other parts. Ghost Rider 28 part 1, Spirits of Vengeance issue 1 as part 2, Morbius issue 1 part 3, Night Stalkers issue 1 part 5, which that was like Blade's team, and Ghost Rider 31. This is back when Ghost Rider wasn't Johnny Blaze. I think at this point Ghost Rider is Danny Ketch, but I'm not too sure, because you see Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider, you see Ghost Rider, right, hanging out with Johnny Blaze, right, which Johnny Blaze wields. Here's Lilith also. Johnny Blaze wields a Hellfire shotgun and helps, fight demons with Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider never turns into a human, right? And I really like Johnny Blaze's look in this book. It's very 90s, but it's kind of cool, right? So here's Johnny Blaze and Ghost Rider. I think that's Danny Ketch as Ghost Rider, but he never transforms. So it's like, I don't know. Then again, at this point, Danny Ketch was kind of hiding his identity as Ghost Rider, but I don't know. So the book is about, it starts off with this dwarf character who goes to people and hands them cards, and inside the cards are magic spells from the Darkhold, which, if you watch the recent Doctor Strange movie, it had the Darkhold in it, right? And one of our main characters in the book, the Darkhold is a basically evil book of magic that was written by an elder god. And the premise of this book is our 3 main characters. Here's one of them, which is Vicky Montesi, who is the daughter of a priest in the Vatican who has special privileges to continue his bloodline, because his bloodline has been blessed to guard the Darkhold, right? And it's not entirely. They never say it, but it's kind of implied these 2 are lesbians, and this is her roommate, Nash, right? And so like our main character, who's a doctor, by the way, or a nurse, I can't remember. It's like, no, she's a doctor, but like it came off like she was a nurse, right? Yeah. So like she's destined to defend the Darkhold one day. So assassins come after her, right? And she has this vision of like people who've been using spells from the Darkhold because there are missing pages of the Darkhold, right? And this dwarf character is going around handing them to people, and they're using the spells, right? And our main characters have to go out and get and retrieve the spells of the Darkhold, which our other main character is an Interpol agent. I think his name is Sam Buchanan, who is a Canadian, who joins the team because he's on a mission to protect Vicky Montesi. Here's her priest father, right? And I really liked the first issue because it very much felt like Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol. And here you get our third main character, which is Professor Louise Hastings, who's an English occult researcher, right? And she meets up with Johnny Blaze here. And like Johnny Blaze and Ghost Rider tells them about Lilith, because there are two factions who are after the pages from the Darkhold. You have the Darkholders, which are like these like occult weirdos who have like ninja assassins, right? And you have Lilith, which that's Lilith right there, who's a demon queen and who wants it because she can use it to bring back her dead husband, or her demon husband, which is Kefon or whatever. And here you see the leaders of the Darkholders meeting with Lilith. And Lilith's design reminds me of what's her name, Firebrand or Nova. You know, the chick who was like Galactus's herald after like Silver Surfer, right? Which Galactus has had several, heralds. So I really like this book, man. Like I said, it felt like Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol, not just from the art, but how weird it is. Like, this guy got a spell of immortality, but his spell, how immortality works is he lives as, like, worms in the shape of a man. So he's unkillable because, he has a shape of he's basically a bunch of worms that take up the shape of a guy, right? And he constantly needs to eat people, right? And they come up with this plan to kill him by using birds. At night, by the way. So, not a lot of birds out at night, but whatever. And Lilith shows up. So yeah, I really liked the first issue. The second issue felt more like an X-Files episode. It was about how this guy gave a spell to this arsonist who wanted revenge on this general who was one of the people in charge of the Gamma Bomb, which it ties into Incredible Hulk, and he actually has like three working gamma bombs, and the arsonist has a spell which is basically a hellhound that can track down the gamma bombs, and our characters have to stop the gamma bomb from going off, right? They kill the general's guard dog off screen, and killed the general on screen, of course. And it was the Interpol agent that did it. Also, at this point, they introduce Mordred the Mystic, right? But they don't really say his name. So Mordred the Mystic shows up here. They changed the art. So I'll open this book. Also, I forgot it came with a poster, but I'm not going to show you the poster because the poster sucked. You get a cameo from West Coast Avengers, right? And they introduced Mordred the Mystic, who kind of looks like, if you look at the face, he kind of looks like David Bowie. Also, there's an ad for a Warhammer Fantasy ripoff game by Milton Bradley. So I'm like, what the? I saw the art and I'm like, is that Warhammer Fantasy? No, it's Warhammer. It's not Warhammer. It's like a ripoff. So yeah, you get Mordred's backstory here, right? He was a sorcerer apprentice to King Arthur, became corrupted by the Darkhold, and now after he had a battle with the Avengers. Now he's around and wants to fight Kevon to get his soul back. So he's helping our main characters, right? And here you get a story. Like the story here is like this poor woman in this poor town, right? It's like somewhere in the South. I can't remember, right? Gets a wish from the gets to have a wish from the spell, either like revenge or a pretty dress. She chooses the dress, goes to town. Everybody makes fun of her except for her friend. But by the way, she's really poor but has a fancy shotgun. By the way, yeah, she gets poor. Like she's poor. They make fun of her, right? And she gets beaten, and you can figure out what's going on here. She goes to the cops, and the cops like, "Why are you trying to drag Billy Jack's name from the mud, woman? You probably stole that fancy dress." Right? Yeah, and yeah. Basically, what happens is that she decides to get revenge, and it summons demons through a portal from Kefon's realm, and it's up to our main characters to stop them, right? And also, Victor Creed shows up, Sabretooth, who actually knows Buchanan and wants to kill him. And apparently, you find out in the second part of the story, which is issue 4, that Mordred actually sent Sabretooth to help them, right? He searched Buchanan's memories and, brought, Sabretooth to help him. So in the fifth issue, Richard Case came back to do only half the comic book, right? Only half the comic book. And, there's a fight between Punisher and Ghost Rider. There's this... Okay, I'll open it up so you can see. Yeah, so in this book, is Punisher's after this priest called Steege, who you find out is a cameo who used to fight Ghost Rider. And also the Al Bigley helped Richard Case on this one. And Steege is working like a scammy church in Brooklyn that promises to bring people back to life if you donate all your money to him, right? And who's helping him to fund this operation is drug runners, right? Right. So, and here's Steege, right? Or I don't know how to pronounce his name. So he gets a spell from the dwarf and allows him to bring back people from the dead as kind of like zombies, right? And yeah, and what's his name? Steege offered Punisher a deal. Hey, work for me and I'll bring back your family. Right? And he's able to bring them back. He has the ability to bring back people as kind of half dead zombies, or he can resurrect them fully, right? And he was planning on bringing them back so to make Punisher work for him, because if he had died, they would have died again, right? But, like, you know, Punisher doesn't bleed him. Also, Ghost Rider shows up because Ghost Rider, somebody told him, like, Ghost Rider's out to kill the Darkhold Redeemers, which is what our group is called. And, yeah, what's his name? Vicky tricks Punisher into killing Steege, right? As he's trying to resurrect Frank's family, right? So yeah, so that was that book. All right. So I'm just gonna get my favorite covers. So I would say these are my favorite covers. So I'll just have this. So what I think about this book, it started off really cool and weird, but it just kind of became like it just basically became like X-Files, basically, right? More supernatural, which there are supernatural episodes of X-Files, right? With cameos from people from, like, you know, the Marvel universe, right? Because especially since, like, Sabretooth they probably brought in because, you know, the X-Men cartoon was going on at the time, right? But yeah, I don't know, man. It's the thing where I liked it at first. I really liked Richard Case's art. You know, it's very but, like, yeah, it starts off good, but then it's like, wow, I don't know, man. And then there's the fact that our characters don't really have superpowers at all. Nobody has superpowers except for maybe Vicky Matessa, which kind of doesn't. I would need to double check because, like, apparently besides having the ability that gives her visions to find the Darkhold pages, there's like two issues where, like, the demons that came out of the portal, right? They couldn't see her, but, like, other supernatural things can, like the zombies could, but maybe because they were, and when the dude was made out of worms, he could see her. So I don't know, like, so it's like picky whether or not, like, her, like, you know, her powers, her thing. I don't know, man. They pick and choose. But yeah, I don't know. I liked it. It's very different, but, like, yeah, it would have been it would have been, you know, nice if they had, like, you know, maybe Johnny, you know, like, I don't know, some cool character other than Buchanan, like, because I don't really like the other character. Vicky's okay, but, like, I don't know, like, Louise Hastings is a very ugly character, which, yeah, but so, like, ugly as in her appearance, you know, but it's like, she's kind of funny with some of the jokes she makes. But yeah, I don't know. It's the thing where, like, there needs to be more real cool. It just comes off like this is Marvel's take on X-Files, right? Like, but yeah, I don't know. They need, like, a Ghost Rider or a Blade or something. But then again, I think they're too busy on, you know, their teams, like Midnight Sun and Night Stalkers at this point. Which I thought, like I said, I thought this was a Midnight Suns series. Yeah, so I don't know. I would say it's definitely somewhere between a 6 or a 7. So I'll just say 6.5. But yeah, maybe I'll you know, if I see more Darkhold, I'll pick it up. But yeah, that's it for this review, guys. Later, my next comic review is going to be America versus the Justice Society. So, JSA book. And I'm going to have a review for this game. Right? And if I get a decent amount of views on this game review, I'll let you guys, we'll do a poll and I'll let you guys pick what our next game review is going to be. And one of the choices is going to be Star Ocean: The Divine Force, right? Yeah, so that's it for this video, guys. Peace and